How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Roads? Well, we're going, we don't need roads.
When people ask you what happened here, tell them the North remembers.
And here we go.
Welcome to Not Another Movie Pod. I'm Zach Williamson with Ross Cutsworth and Luke Eustons today, and we're talking Mandalorian Episode 4 and Watchmen Episode 7. But first, we want to give a big shout out to everyone that signed up for our Patreon already. Man, that's huge. The plan for our Patreon listeners is this week we're going to record our discussion on The Irishman, drop that on Patreon, continue to upload additional episodes every week on Patreon for a while because we didn't realize that the people who signed up in November, at the very end of the month, it didn't have a carryover into December. So we're going to make up those episodes. We're going to add 3 more to our slate. All of our Watchmen, Mandalorian, and Star Wars related pods will still be available on normal platforms though. Nothing's changing on that. This is just if you want additional content. So if you still want to sign up, super easy. Just go to patreon.com/notanothermoviepod. After you sign up, it'll give you the option to get a private RSS link. And that means when an episode drops on Patreon, you can just download it straight to whatever platform you usually listen to, like Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever you're listening to. So again, patreon.com/notanothermoviepod. What you guys want to talk first, Mando?
Yeah, let's do Mando.
Yeah. All right. Ross, you want to go first on this one?
What do you guys think? Because I personally was not really a fan of this one. Just how it was set up and everything.
Me neither.
Wasn't really good for me. It just felt like the story was kind of forced. Didn't feel like it came very natural, and it was just a lot of things juxtaposed together.
The story has been done a lot. The style with this people training villagers. That goes all the way back to the 50s with 7 Samurai. And there was already in Star Wars canon, they did this story where in the Clone Wars, where Anakin and Obi-Wan train all the farmers. So this just has already been done, and it's already been done better.
I know. When they're doing the fucking little wood stick thing, I thought I was back in Mulan or something. Come on, it's been played out, guy.
And the whole time in my head, when I'm watching him train, I'm just thinking, you guys are going to get fucked up by blasters.
The 2 dudes that found Mando, they were so fucking annoying. They were so dumb.
Oh, yeah.
The way the blue guy annoyed you, Zach, is the way those 2 dudes annoyed me this episode. They're just idiots.
Yeah, they were worst characters in the episode were those fools.
Yeah.
Probably. There wasn't even any great character in this. Or, I mean, besides Mando and Baby Yoda.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, the lady trying to take off his mask.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that.
Oh, so you're saying you didn't like any of the women characters?
No.
Not really. They seem very wooden to me, and their dialogue seemed pretty bad to me.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the villagers seem like
it's a story we've seen before like 10,000 times, you know?
Yeah.
I thought that like the widow and her daughter were fine and the kids, but everyone else in that village was trash, I thought.
Yeah. The village was boo-boo.
And half the problem was the writing in this episode. It just wasn't as good.
No, I agree. The dialogue was very shoddy, in my opinion.
Jon Favreau writes all of these, right?
He's written the past 3 episodes or 4 episodes now. He's not writing the next one. The next one will be Dave Filoni, who directed the first episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I thought even, what was her name? Cara Dune?
Yeah.
Just the stunts were sick. Everything she did, you could tell that Gina Carano did all those stunts herself, which is badass because even Pedro Pascal doesn't do that. He had a stunt double for all of his scenes this episode.
Yeah.
So I thought all that part was fine, but some of her dialogue was just bad. And I didn't even think it was necessarily her was bad. I thought it was just bad writing and bad like placement. She made some comment right when the ATST was about to rise up. And I was like, why are you
not just sprinting?
Yeah, why didn't you get out of there? I can't remember what the fuck she said, but it was just like, what are you talking about, dude? There's the ATST. Definitely still at this camp somewhere.
Just some shitty ass one-liner.
Yeah, it was bad. And it's not even her fault though, man.
No, I'll agree with you there about the physicality of the role and how she did well in that. But the dialogue for, I agree, was just bad.
Yeah, compared to they've had a lot of actually great actors on this show. And even they're going to have good actors. So it just felt like a shitty Star Trek side quest mission.
Yeah, this was a total side quest mission. That's a great way to put it.
Stargate, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Can't remember what trash space show I used to watch.
No, Star Trek definitely had a bunch of episodical shit like this.
All space shows kind of have that, huh? So far this series, the show's been good.
Yeah.
And we've seen how good it could be with that episode 3.
My God, yeah.
So this just felt like a step down.
Yeah, from episode 3 to this, not good.
Baby Yoda was great, as always.
Yeah, what are some of the positives?
Baby Yoda and his tea.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda, definitely, dude. Even the beginning with it showing his perspective and him rolling through the cantina and he sees the loft cat.
Yeah.
That was all good directing because it was just we get to see it from his perspective again.
Yeah, and I like how when he was messing around in his ship too, when he first pressed that first button, you could see that he was kind of testing to see what they did and he wasn't just poking them randomly.
Yeah, he was just being a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Just learning, it feels like, being curious.
And there was that part at the end too where the scopes were on him. I was like, no way are they going to do this turn.
When that was about to happen, I was just thinking, does this show really have the balls to do this?
That would have been the shittiest way to kill Baby Yoda.
Oh, just have him sniped by some random trooper.
In this most bodunk fuck village ever.
Yeah, for real, man. I was going to say too, just on it feeling like a filler, maybe it will not be eventually. Maybe it plays into the story is that Cara Dune's going to join his actual crew, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
I would have much rather seen a chase episode over this, where as soon as he lands on this planet, there's bounty hunters right behind him, and they're following him and chasing him from planet to planet. That'd be sick. I would have liked that a lot more.
That makes sense.
And it would have made more sense to me because it's just kind of, this huge thing happened last episode, and we're not even going to address it at all. And he's just on this random planet helping these villagers.
What? I mean, they were kind of distracted. They couldn't really follow him immediately. He got a jump on
Okay,
him.
but none of the other Mandalorians are with him.
Yeah, he took off without him. They're still there.
They stayed for that long?
I don't think that they were following him. I think they knew he needed to get away.
Well, after what they just did, they're also fugitives, right?
I don't think they might not even have to leave. They just destroyed all those people.
Why didn't he just stay then?
Because he knows he can't stay with the baby. There's still going to be people coming for it.
Okay, that's a good point. That's true.
There probably will be a mission like that where the Empire is hot on his tail.
Yeah.
I don't really mind the side mission stuff. I thought it could have been better.
Are we going to see more of Werner Herzog's character?
I don't know. He's only in 2. He might have been only in 2 of the credits when I looked.
Oh, so he was just that's a bummer.
Might show up like season 2 or something.
I was going to say he had potential to be a bigger baddie, kind of cool baddie.
Yeah, he still could come back. I don't know. I'm just saying what I saw in the credits. I don't know if that means that they're hiding that aspect.
Yeah, I feel like he'll either come back for later on in this season or next season. Because he's not dead and still open-ended ending to his character, so.
Yeah. Like, I think they'll tie that up too.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Let me think.
What about him taking off his helmet in front of the kids?
Yeah, that's okay. That was another thing that kind of bothered me just about this episode. Is a little inconsistent with what he can and can't, like what he says. At first he says, I can't take it off in front of him, but then they made it kind of, they could have tried to hide that better, that there wasn't great sight into that room. You know what I mean? It looks like a wide open window that anyone can look back and see him if they just weren't paying attention to Baby Yoda for a second. Doesn't look that far away.
Wasn't being very careful at all.
Yeah. Unless they're saying that he observed the situation and doesn't think that they're ever going to look over. But I don't know. They just didn't get a great camera angle on that.
I was thinking, at first I thought it was one-way glass maybe, but it looks like it's just open.
Yeah, it's just open and they don't have glass there.
Yeah. Well,
they live in fucking huts.
Yeah.
Nah.
They don't have that advance of technology at all as a whole, but they still live in Star Wars, so other people could bring shit there.
I don't know. They didn't have guns, dude. They only had one person who had to use a gun there.
Yeah,
for real.
I don't think they have windows.
But I'm just saying, some like random individual items could be dropped off and shit there.
Yeah,
I guess that's
for sure.
kind of a pointless point to argue, anyways. It doesn't matter.
You think that I saw it, like that was one of the complaints a lot of people had, which I didn't have, was that they were saying, why would she know how to shoot? And I think that that's pretty reasonable that someone in your village would know how to shoot. Plus, we don't really know her history. She could have been an ex-rebel, someone in the Empire. Maybe her husband taught her how to shoot, who died already. So I don't think that was that big of a deal or anything wrong with that.
Yeah, we knew nothing about her, so I didn't really have that big of a problem with it.
Yeah, it didn't even cross my mind until I saw some article on it.
What did you guys think of the look of the ATST?
It looked old.
Like with the red lights coming out of the eye slits.
Oh, I like that. I think it made it. This is one of the first times we've ever seen an ATST seem formidable. Yeah. So I did like that. It's just.
But at the same time, they're like, oh, ATST will never be. It's invincible.
We've seen a bunch of space bears kill those things.
Little Ewoks.
But I like the eyes. It made it seem alive. It made it seem more Jurassic Park-like. You could definitely tell with Bryce Dallas Howard with just the fact that she's in those movies that she took influence with all that.
I honestly dislike that part a little bit.
You didn't like
Just
it?
Why?
that it made it seem alive. Because when it got shot and stuff, it would go and creech back. It just kind of took me out of it.
No, I didn't even think about that. It wasn't my biggest problem in this episode at all.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's just personal.
Yeah. I thought that their plan was stupid, though.
The Empire's plan or the people's?
The Mandalorian and Cara Dune's. I don't know why they didn't just go straight for the ATST. Why would your first resort
set up spikes and stuff? Is that what you're saying, or what?
Yeah, why'd they go for the motherfucking...
back to tanks or some shit? I don't even know what they were trying to blow up.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? It was just like their food supply.
Why wouldn't you go straight for the thing that's going to fuck you up? You know what I mean?
Like, all they had to do was blow the ATST up, and then it wouldn't have been that, like, bad of a fight, you know?
Yeah, they would have picked those fools off, no problem. They clearly were trash at shooting. They couldn't hit anything in the ATST because that village didn't get any damage, really.
Yeah.
That's another thing is about this episode is I really just wasn't buying the enemy or like the villains as being very formidable at all or anything or imposing.
What were they called? Clatoonians?
Yeah.
Well, Clatoonians are dumbasses, man. They were on Jabba's boat.
I don't know.
Skiff or whatever. Just a bunch of idiots, dude.
Yeah. I just didn't know anything about their backstory.
How does that make them dumbasses just because they were on the skiff?
They hang out with Jabba.
They hang out with this. Well,
Pete.
yeah.
Jabba's a pretty smart dude.
Jabba is a smart dude, and he gets a bunch of morons under him.
I don't know, dude.
Jabba.
And their actions in this episode.
Jango Fett wasn't a moron. He worked for Jabba.
Jango Fett was an idiot, and he didn't work for Jabba.
Boba.
I thought he did.
Jango
Fett.
might have too.
Or did I say Jango? I mean Boba. Sorry. Jango Fett was an idiot. I meant Boba. Fuck.
Okay. Boba. He's an idiot too, though, man. Showing a Starlight pit.
Yeah. He got killed by a blind dude.
You don't know if he's dead or not. Don't talk bad on his name.
Yeah, that's true. He still got took out, though.
He's kind of a scrub.
Yeah.
What has he really done?
You're a scrub, dude. He fucking put Han Solo in freaking
Carbonite.
Bro, that was Vader.
Whatever, dude. He transported him.
I'm playing, but yeah, back on what, the problem or whatever.
Oh yeah.
What were you saying again, Ross?
My bad. I was just saying one of my problems with this was definitely just not buying into the villain. So I didn't know anything about their backstory, or I didn't know why they were attacking the village. I didn't see them injure a single villager. Every time they came in, they just like shot at the ground and grabbed shit and tossed it in the air.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Ross.
My theory is that they were just drunk the whole time because you saw them just drinking at the fire and just they were smacking drinks and stuff.
Bro, let's go fuck with these villagers.
Let's go fucking steal a bunch of shrimp.
And that's why they can't shoot, dude. They can't aim because they're just trashed.
Just absolutely black.
Dude, I wanted those guys to be dead so bad. When it went over their head, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, man. Your last resort should have been to bring the ATST back.
Also, I'm surprised they ran back to the camp. They could have just ran off somewhere else, plan a different attack. Like, why do they have to run back, or not to the camp, to the village, I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're saying, why would you bring the fight to the village?
Yeah, exactly. Go all guerrilla style in the forest.
I know.
Yeah, that would have been better.
That's what I'm saying. One of the problems with the show so far is I think it needs more writers. It needs someone to just say to Favreau, like, hey, dude, logically, why are we doing it like this?
But logically, though.
Logically, guy? You're fucking up.
In Watchmen, they have, I know where I always compare it to Watchmen, but Watchmen has 15 writers, man.
Dude, this last week definitely completely flipped my opinion on the shows. Because you know how I was kind of leading a little bit towards Mandalorian?
This show's entertaining, though. Yeah. It's still good. Watchmen's just next level right now.
Maybe I just give it more of a pass because it's Star Wars. And it feels a lot like the original trilogy, so that makes me like it a lot.
Yeah, 100. I mean, I get it, for sure. Yeah. Just after these episodes, though, like when we've already seen what Mandalorian could be like with episode 3 and how good that one was, that quality, I need that quality every time.
Every time it's got to hit that beat and get better, potentially on other episodes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what you want it to do, get better. Like how Watchmen is, you know, just build off each other.
Yeah, not just these kind of stories that
are just fucking bullshit.
Throw away.
And it's only 8 episodes.
It's not creative at all, dude. That's not creative.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I know. I'm just pissed at how fucking uncreative it was.
Yeah, did kind of suck. Yeah, I'm definitely all in on Watchmen now.
Damn. Is there any more lore besides the helmet? It's just that he can't take it off in front of people.
Yeah.
And he's worn it since he was a kid.
That's another thing I was wondering is, do they have to vow to celibacy when they enter? Because I feel like she was coming on to him pretty hard.
Oh, she was fuming.
And he was just like,
Bro, she's a widow, man. She probably hasn't seen someone. She's probably related to everyone in that village.
For real. She's kind of taking a shot in the dark, too, at the Mandalorian. Like, he take his fucking helmet off and he just has a fucking...
Could just be a gnar guy under there.
He just looks fucking ugly as shit.
maybe she just likes his personality. And
His personality, he probably has said 50 words to her.
I know, I was
she
going to
likes
say...
the stoic type. Come on.
Thank you. That's very nice.
You're very
She's
kind.
very
very
into
kind,
the Jon
yeah.
Snow type. No, I think they're celibate though.
They might be, man. Well, okay, what other Mandalorian... Like, this is definitely a different clan than some of the other ones in canon so far. It has to be. Or it has to be that they, since the Great Purge, they changed everything about their religion or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm starting to think that there's two events that happen. The flashbacks that we see, I think that'll probably pop up next episode too, because that seems more Clone Wars era. But could it be possible that those, when he was a kid, when that happened, is before the Great Purge?
Oh, definitely. I think that's a possibility for sure. But
Okay. That's what I think is happening.
yeah, it's kind of making it seem like that is Great Purge, but it can definitely be the other way too.
Yeah. And you know what we didn't talk about too is that he knew what womp rats are, because those are from Tatooine.
Yeah, I noticed that too. As soon as he said that, I kind of thought, is that just a universal thing, or
Yeah, is that kind of like what Jawas are? They're clearly,
universally known but native to Tatooine or the Outer Rim?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or it could be, what if he's from Tatooine?
maybe. I don't know.
Why is everyone from Tatooine?
It's just a fucking place to be, man. I don't know.
the shittiest, best place in the galaxy.
Yeah, it's just a desert shit bowl. It's terrible. If he was from Tatooine, that would be strange.
Yeah. All right, man. That might be it. Actually, we got a question. I could bring that in after.
Toss it in there.
I was going to say, I forgot to mention this too about the Clitonians. So Luke killed one in Return of the Jedi, and they were actually slaves of Jabba.
So you saying,
Feel like a dick now,
so you're
Zach?
saying Luke's a bad guy?
Kind of feel bad, man. Fuck.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, we had one question. Oh, no, we got more than one. We got a few. Okay. So Jesus Garcia, he wants to know, how does the tracker work? Or how do we think it works? Is it like DNA or something? If not, why not just remove the transmitter from Baby Yoda? And I don't know. You got a theory?
Maybe it's like midi-chlorians or something.
It's microscopic tracker. That's what you're saying?
I don't think it's midichlorians or whatever, because he's already caught bounties using the fobs that weren't force related.
Has he?
Yeah, remember that blue idiot first episode, for example?
Oh, Blue Dangus McJangleson.
Blue McJangleson. Yeah. Anyway, that guy. I don't know. Ross, you got a theory? I think I have one too.
It's probably an implant.
Yeah, or maybe it's like bio-keyed to their species or something. I don't know. Yeah, it has to be an implant.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like a biometric signature, like what you were saying.
Yeah,
Luke.
where you can scan their DNA.
Yeah, because I mean, we know in Star Wars they're sophisticated enough to determine how many people are on ships and if things have their shields up or whatnot. So biometrics, that's a thing that even I think we can do, right?
To some degree, yeah.
Yeah. And you can identify that stuff better than fingerprints. So if they probably get your biometric, then they can find you until they change the code or something that's imprinted on it. So maybe he has to get the code reprogrammed.
His DNA code, his genomes.
Whatever. No, dude, the machines.
No, the code for the tracker.
Come on, guy.
Come on, dude.
Yeah. But we know that it doesn't work unless you're within distance. So they have to find them, and then it works on that planet.
Yeah.
That's why it took a couple weeks for that random bounty hunter to find him. That was another thing, though, too. Is why do you think that this kid is going to be safe here? You was really going to leave him there?
No, yeah.
I was like, are you really seriously going to fucking leave him?
You just had to fight the whole empire just to get out of there. And you think that 2 weeks later, that's it?
I was thinking you saved this whole village to leave this baby there.
Remember, he said that shit too. This news like this will spread.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, I have to leave him here.
That's what I'm saying. That was
dumb as
another,
fuck.
Yeah, dude.
another bad. Just what is he thinking,
Dialogue.
dude?
Yeah, bad writing.
Bad.
So I'm saying, and there was even another part where he's just, no, we can't help you. 2 seconds later, all right, this is what we're doing.
After they were like, oh, we have a village in the middle of nowhere.
No, that was the beginning. Dude, that's a different one too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did that shit like 6 times in one episode.
It was just a lot of contradicting. But I like how he's growing with Baby Yoda though. He's letting him sit on his lap and talks to him.
Yeah, pretty sick, honestly.
He definitely feels like he's opening up. So maybe that's what they're trying to say with him potentially staying there at one point. But there was no way he was going to stay. There was no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they were just trying to use this episode to develop him as a character more, but I don't think it was very effective.
Okay, next question. Oh, this is a good one.
Hit us.
This is from Dan. Dan wants to know, with him potentially knowing about Tatooine and maybe being born there, do we think that in that flashback where that droid is coming, that it could be Obi-Wan who saves him?
Wait, why Obi-Wan? I didn't see anything that hinted to Obi-Wan.
If it's on Tatooine is what he's asking.
Oh, if it's on Tatooine?
Just because of the Womp Rat comments, that means that he might be from Tatooine.
Yeah. But
I don't think that's what it's going to be, though.
like we were saying, that could be just a universal thing.
Yeah, for sure. But okay, in this hypothetical situation.
Okay, it could be Obi-Wan. Is that what?
Nah, I don't think it's going to be Obi-Wan.
There's no indication that it's Obi-Wan. But
Yeah, they don't need to. This is just a wild guess, it sounds like, but who knows?
yeah, it could be.
They could use it as a way to sort of introduce Obi-Wan back into the story since they're doing that TV show. But I don't know, dude. That doesn't even really... It feels like more what's going to rescue him is going to be a Mandalorian. And that's how he's going to join the Mandalorians. Last question. This is from Nathan Carnahan. He wants to know, can you explain the difference between the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and Jango Fett? Why does he have Mandalorian armor, and what's the difference with them being a clone and his upbringing? So,
Yeah.
all right, fuck. History lesson. So Jango Fett was cloned, and all of his clones for the clone army, they were all sped up.
Yeah, their growth rate was increased.
Yes, so it would take 10 years, and they'd already be 20. But Boba Fett was cloned specifically not to have that happen, so he aged normally. And the reason why they're not Mandalorian...
They didn't follow the Mandalorian code, and they stole the armor, the Mandalorian armor. They weren't indoctrinated like in the correct way.
But it also could be... This is actually... Okay, I just thought of this. Since it was a certain clan that disowned him, the one that was on Mandalore, though, right? They said he's not... That they aren't real Mandalorians. Or that Jango's not a real Mandalorian, meaning Boba Fett wouldn't be one either.
By extension, yeah.
Yes. But what if that's a different clan than, let's say, the Mandalorian, Dyn Jarren?
Yeah.
What if that's a different clan? So they might have different rules, and he might be recognized by a different Mandalorian clan.
Well, he's dead now, so I mean, he can't.
Yeah.
He can't be.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't matter. Yeah.
So I
Well,
doubt they'll.
unless Boba Fett's alive, but
Yeah, Boba Fett could still be accepted.
yeah, if he's alive, which is not confirmed that he's alive or unconfirmed, because in the old canon before Disney bought Star Wars, Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit, climbed out of that shit.
Yeah, in the most insane fucking way ever.
They digest really slowly. They digest bodies over 1,000 years.
Was that from a book or was that from a...
I think it was from a comic.
Dude, so hypothetically, you could just chill and hang out in a Sarlacc pit?
Yeah,
What? No way. Not hypothetically. It'd be like sitting in
an acid vat.
You said they digest shit over 1,000 years. That means
they got spikes. They probably kill you quicker. They probably kill you really quick. So you're just sitting there like a Venus flytrap.
obviously not Boba. He was just chilling in the stomach. Missed every single spike on the way down.
Yeah.
Bro, dude, I don't know how the inside of that shit looked. I don't know. That shit had teeth though when it went flying in.
I think his armor helped too.
Well, a stomach's a stomach.
Yeah,
dude.
the inside doesn't have spikes on it, I think. It just has acid.
Cannon?
Yeah, you wrong, dog.
I could send you a diagram of the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, Zach, do you want him to draw that in Crayola?
Yeah.
Fax it over to you.
All right, I believe you.
I'll draw
Let's
it
move
for
on.
you guys.
Yeah, so Boba Fett could be alive.
Yeah, he could be.
Dyn Jarren was a foundling who was brought up in this way. It doesn't sound like he was born as a Mandalorian. He was brought in, which is allowed. Anyone can become a Mandalorian.
Facts.
You know, it'd be a sick reveal if they're all wearing their helmets because all of them are just aliens under there, and so that's just so they all looked the same.
So you can't tell their racial differences. That would be sick.
That would be tight.
One people united under one helmet.
Fuck, boys. That's all I got for Mando.
Yeah, it just got quiet on the Mando front.
Yeah, move on to Watchmen, man.
With Watchmen. So that's all we got on the Mandalorian Chapter 4. If you're not here for Watchmen as well, we'll see you next week. Plan to drop our Mandalorian pods on Wednesdays for the next few weeks. If you want more additional content, though, we have our Patreon. You can sign up at patreon.com/notanothermoviepod. We're going to do The Irishman as our first review on there. Costs $5. And with that, you get at least 3 additional episodes per month, minimum. This month, it's probably going to be 4. All right, so let's talk some Watchmen. So Watchmen E7, Almost Religious Awe. You know, even that was a reference to the comics.
Wait, what?
The title.
Elaborate.
I was thinking back on it. When he goes over to Vietnam to fight the U.S. war, they would turn themselves in. They would specifically ask for Dr. Manhattan that they wanted to surrender to him. And there was that line, it was almost in religious awe, terror and religious awe. So it was straight from the comics.
Damn, this show has so many shots and just phrases and stuff that are just directly from the comics. It's kind of crazy.
It's great.
Yeah,
Dude.
it is great.
Yeah. So should we, before we go super in depth, should we just talk about Dr. Manhattan a little bit? Just his history so people even know who he is if you haven't read the comic?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay. So Dr. Manhattan, he was born John Osterman, a watchmaker's son, who eventually grew up, became an atomic scientist, and turned into this glowing blue superhuman after he got tracked in the intrinsic field subtractor, which is what the Seventh Cavalry was trying to do.
Generator.
Intrinsic field subtractor. I looked at the official name.
Why do they call it a generator then in the show and movie?
I don't know. Are you sure that they don't call it a subtractor?
In the comics, they calls it the intrinsic field generator.
Maybe that's the real life equivalent of it, Zach.
Maybe it's means the same thing.
No, you're wrong, Zach. Dude, there's no fucking way.
I definitely heard them say, could just have multiple names though.
Probably means the same shit. Anyway, so he became a polarizing figure when the United States went to Vietnam. He single-handedly won the war for them, essentially, and allowed the U.S. to colonize the country. And what else did he do? He previously dated Lori Blake, and I double-checked this shit. She was 16 and he was 37 years old when they started dating.
But he was Dr. Manhattan. Oh, wait. But she was 16, though.
She was 16, dude.
Yeah, but
Straight.
Also at that point, he said time is irrelevant to him.
But he's 37 years old.
Laws mean nothing to a god, Zach.
That's what I'm saying. That law doesn't mean anything to him because of his lack of perception of time.
He's like Leonardo DiCaprio, dude.
Oh, I guess you're saying he only likes that young puh.
Dr. Manhattan is the Leonardo DiCaprio of Watchmen.
Yeah. Let's see what else. This dude's OP as fuck, too. He's got so many abilities. He can fly. He can travel through any object. Can regenerate himself. Time travel.
He can manipulate matter, too, which is pretty crazy.
He can split himself and have one conscious throughout.
Fuck.
Damn. This guy would smoke Superman.
Oh, yeah. Easy. And he can change his size as well. I'm assuming he has super strength as well.
Definitely.
Not that he needs it.
Yeah. What else is there? Does he have any weaknesses?
16-year-old puss.
yeah.
That's his weakness.
He's got mental illnesses in those departments, I guess. And he can also see the future because like we were saying, he sees everything on one continuum pretty much. But Veidt did figure out how to block that.
Tachyons,
that was it. Yes. So that blocked his future. He didn't know that the squid attack was happening, but he was also distracted with his own crisis of dealing with if he wanted to care about reality or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently now he can commit self-amnesia. So that's a new one.
And encase himself in another person's skin.
I was going to say, it's almost like, I feel like he just, it wasn't like self-amnesia. He just went dormant inside of a human or something.
Yeah.
That's more what it felt like.
Zach, can you explain this to me? Because I don't get why the helium symbol that's on Dr. Manhattan's head was metal and inside of his skull.
He made that symbol, the atom symbol.
John.
That's what he gave to himself.
Oh, wait, he made that? Wait, when did he make that? I didn't know that.
He burned it in his head.
Oh,
He did it
okay.
either after the war or right before.
I think right before.
Didn't he do that with his finger, though?
Mhm.
So, I know that the symbol on his head, I'm just saying, like, why is there a metal one inside of his head?
Instead of Cal's head. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why is it?
I kind of have a theory on this. So this guy's name, this is from the PD files, and his name is Cal Jelani. And there was like a file, like a doctor's file on him or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think that means that this guy must have taken Angela's name. So they're like a progressive family for one. She's the stay-at-home dad, and so he took her name.
Yeah.
And in this file too, I realized Cal Jelani, who, let's say if that was ever him, but in 2009, this guy Cal Jelani, he used to work for Adrian Veidt. That was his former job. So that's what makes me think that potentially, what if they made a deal, Veidt and Dr. Manhattan did at this time, and said, yeah, you can hide in one of my clones or in this body, or make yourself a clone, and I will go off to Europa. They made some sort of agreement at the time because he needed to get out of there because a lot of his businesses were not doing well. Stuff was starting to stir up with him, with the whole killing everyone in 1985. And
Yeah, the squid attack.
yeah, and then one thing in the doctor's note too, it said that he was having trouble speaking when they first found him, and that Angela did most of the talking because she was at that meeting too. And that's similar to the clones, because remember when Veidt raises the clone, they can't talk for the first couple hours.
Yeah, interesting.
So it could have just been a clone body of maybe this guy Cal Jelani, or they just traded that person and he took the body on, which would be crazy.
Just body snatch him.
Because the family also of him, it said that his family was pretty much unknown.
So they just chose a good candidate.
Yeah.
That was a cool reveal, though. What do you guys think of the Ozymandias stuff?
I forgot to ask you guys, what did you guys actually think of the reveal, though? Just the Dr. Manhattan reveal. There was a ton of good buildup. He was wearing blue. His car was blue.
Yeah.
Angela was wearing blue.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I was really confused about the elephant, though.
She's bashing his head in.
Oh, yeah, that was brutal as fuck. I was just thinking, man, poor guy.
Yeah. The elephants. So you said you were, what'd you say?
Yeah, I was confused about the elephants. Is it for their good memory?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I think. There's a couple other things too with the elephant. Her logo is an elephant shape. And Lady True, so she named herself after a Vietnamese warrior who rode elephants. So there's a lot of stuff going on with elephants.
wait, where is Will, though? I'm curious about that, too. He could be anywhere.
I don't know. What's your theory? He's probably there somewhere in that building.
I don't know. What's your theory? You're the theory god.
Theory God. Theory God.
He's probably there. He's probably in her facility somewhere. I think Lady True is Veidt's daughter.
Veidt's daughter?
Oh, yeah. 100%. We talked about this, didn't we?
We didn't talk about it with Ross yet.
I thought we talked about
No.
Dr. Manhattan being her dad or some shit.
No.
Oh, okay.
I think that maybe he was trying to write "Save Me, Daughter."
Was he in Vietnam at the time, though?
Dude, who knows where he was? I mean, clearly he had to know about Dr. Manhattan before he got shipped off to Europa, so he must have met him somewhere. Pretty believable he could have met him in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And when Lady True's talking to Angela, she says, "Where's your dad at now?" And she's like, "He'll be here soon enough."
It could be the comedian, too, though.
No, I don't think at this point that it's the comedian. He's just been dead so long, and he never was alive for when she was alive. It feels like she's met her dad before.
Yeah.
Comedian's dad reveals already happened, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just kind of feels like it might be Dr. Manhattan because she just said, "Oh, you'll see who my dad is," or whatever.
I think her dad's Dr. Manhattan.
Maybe. Yeah. I kind of do.
I was thinking because she said she's the smartest woman in the world. He was the smartest man in the world. That seems
Dr. Manhattan.
like something that would logically pass on. No, Veidt is the smartest person.
Veidt
in the
is
world.
the self-proclaimed smartest man.
No, it wasn't self-proclaimed.
Okay, other people proclaimed it too, but clearly Dr. Manhattan is smarter than him.
Not really. He outsmarted that. I mean, they're both really smart. He outsmarted Dr. Manhattan, who sees time on, like you said, a continuum or whatever. He figured
With the
out how to
tachyon field generator, yeah.
he figured out how to do it without him knowing that he knew how to do it. He's a smart guy. That's why he has them all the way out on Europa.
Yeah. He just seems not as smart in this series, but maybe that's just because he's going a little crazy.
I think he just had kind of a down and out time towards the end before he left. Like they were saying, a lot of his businesses weren't working out, and his whole Luke? What was that campaign that he launched? Do you remember what I'm talking about? He launched something that was a complete failure.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
And the timeline does kind of match up too, just with his disappearance. Because remember, it said that he hadn't been seen in public since 2009, but he disappeared in 2012. And
it would make sense that he'd sell his company to his daughter, right? Keep it in the family.
Yeah, that also that aspect. And he definitely has a Vietnam ties.
How is the 7th Cavalry going to capture Dr. Manhattan?
Because Luke, you got theory?
I don't get how they're going to make that possible.
I don't know, dude.
Because let's see, what tools do they have at their disposal that we know of? Just the kind of teleportation device?
Well, let's think about it. So,
and then the bomb. They have some kind of bomb.
Well, we know they're trying to make a new one.
Yeah, but they didn't say they had an intrinsic field separator, did they?
I think they do have one.
They probably do.
And they have a way to transport.
They just didn't show it yet.
I assume if he's saying I'm about to make a new Dr. Manhattan, it's because he has one. Here's the thing, how did they even figure out that Cal is Dr. Manhattan, right? It must have been the White Knight, something that happened that night. I think.
And Judd figured out that he was Dr. Manhattan.
Judd or whoever the other 7th Cavalry member that was there might have witnessed a miracle.
And Judd would tell fucking Joe, white bread ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, it was probably Judd who was there at the attack.
Well, no, he was there, wasn't he? He came in.
We didn't confirm that. He had a cut on his shoulder that looked around the same spot where that one 7th Cavalry member got shot.
Yeah.
So not confirmed, but that's I kind of think that too, that's going to end up being him that was there. I think that she has a different motive. I don't think that she's being as sincere that she's trying to save everyone. I still think that her and Will are doing something different with the whole mind control stuff, because we know that they have access to all these TVs.
Yeah.
So they probably want to stop the 7th Cavalry because the 7th Cavalry are up to something. They're trying to make a new Dr. Manhattan to take over everything. So she has to stop that, but she has her own motive because she wants to wipe out people like that, I bet.
You should explain the TV thing just in case people hadn't read the Petey Pedia. I feel like it's kind of an important detail since we're just
already talking about it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So when Lady True moved to Tulsa, she bought a ton of land and sent a bunch of TVs to everyone in the area, brand new TVs. And we know that Will Reeves, he was working on the technology for 50, 60 years that he got from the Cyclops, the mind control stuff.
Mesmerism.
So the mesmerism.
Yeah. Mesmerism.
Yeah. So I still think that it has to be something that she's doing with these memories on her own, like what she's testing with her daughter. I kind of feel like her daughter or her mother or whatever is going to end up being the Bubastis of this story. If she's the Vite of this story, she's going to sacrifice her daughter somehow.
You think so? Yeah.
I think so. Dude, I had one other thing. Okay, so back to the 7th Cavalry shit. Maybe they're going to try to do mind control on him. Do you think that's going to work on him, though? It's like, why would that work and nothing else works?
I don't know.
Doesn't that seem like that it shouldn't work, right? That's not our theory then?
I mean, it could happen, but yeah.
I don't think that's going to work. And here's the thing about Dr. Manhattan, though, too, is if he sees his whole life on one plane, then he would know when his life ends, right?
Yeah, but does his life even end?
He could have died in that state when he was in his hibernation mode.
Maybe, if we're taking their word for truth.
If they know how to transfer it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work, though, because if they think that a field intrinsic generator is going to work, Adrian Veidt already tried that and it didn't fucking work. So I don't know what else their plan's going to be, but that's not going to work.
Yeah, we'll see. Definitely has to do something with those fucking lithium batteries.
Yeah, I think that they're trying to make a new intrinsic field generator with that or something.
Yeah.
The transporters, though, maybe they're going to transport into his house and grab him.
But he's already blue mode.
Maybe it takes him a little bit to adapt to get his powers back.
He'd still be beast. He'd still fuck him up.
Yeah, he'll probably just fuck him up. But it looks like, yeah, we'll see.
Damn, I can't believe she knew this shit the whole time.
That was a good twist. I did not expect her, honestly. I guess we should have figured that she would know.
Yeah.
But
that was a good twist.
Just doesn't even talk about it at all.
Yeah, because she was saying, aren't you going to ask who it was? She knows already who it is. It's fucking Cal.
Instantly in that moment, you know she knows.
Her backstory is super sad too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
What the fuck? The terrorists?
They were doing such a good job weaving her grandpa's memories with hers and just how much they paralleled. And damn, dude.
Yeah, that trauma. Yeah, and everyone in their family wants to be a soldier of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Because
even
for what, 5 generations?
4. You know what we didn't talk about was Looking Glass. I'm kind of bummed we don't get to see that fight, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that was probably lit.
I hope they do a flashback. Yeah, and he took that guy's mask.
Oh, so he's in with them right now somewhere.
Yeah, I think he took their mask and he's probably infiltrating them.
Yes. Bad boy.
So he might save them at that house.
I think they'll be fine if Dr. Manhattan's his normal self.
This one thing in this episode I did not like was I thought Lori Blake kind of seemed a little dumb in this one.
I did too. Oh, you thought that?
Yeah, when she kept pressing that button,
I was like, grab that shit from her.
Shoot her or something. Yeah. Maybe not shoot her, but dive at her.
I was thinking just like get up, like she's doing something fucked up. Just move. Like, fuck.
Yeah, and it would make it. I mean, we've suspected that she was probably in on this. She had to know her husband and his best friend were up to something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't expect her to just be that cold-hearted bitch, just drop her ass like that. You just be like, I was waiting for you to...
Yeah, to put it together or whatever. And she didn't seem all that concerned when Petey found all of the bodies at Looking Glass's place. So maybe she already knew about all that and she's just trying to get in somehow. Because otherwise, that was just kind of dumb actions by her.
I think it was just dumb. It didn't really seem premeditated.
Even just hearing that there's 5 bodies, 5 7th Cavalry members, I don't know. I just think that's like a huge thing to just kind of ignore and brush off for a second.
Yeah.
Some bodies everywhere. Fuck.
Dude, after one time she just looks at you and presses a button at your face, I would just stand up and grab that shit from her.
Also, Lori spelling it all out to, what's Judd's wife's name?
I can't remember her
name.
name.
Yeah, just saying the whole plot to her.
Yeah, it felt like...
Not suspecting that she could be in on it at all.
Yeah, it felt like kind of out of character. Maybe she wanted to get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Damn, that's dedication to get herself thrown down a pit to get caught.
Well, if Looking Glass is inside already and is feeding her info.
Yeah, but she still had to fall down a pit.
Yeah, she did.
Dedication. I guess she didn't know she was going to have to do that, though.
Yeah. Dude, okay. So I do have one thing, actually. This is about Dr. Manhattan. What is this good enough reason that he would decide to come back so quickly?
Oh, yeah.
Why? It's going to have to be something really clever from Lindelof to make that make sense, because it clearly leaves the story and he doesn't give a shit. He leaves.
You think it's going to have to be something philosophical or?
I don't know. I'm just saying, unless it's literally the only way he comes back is if he goes into amnesia mode, is that's the only way he can try to relate to humans. Even that doesn't feel like a good enough reason, because I felt like he was just past that phase. He was even happy to see that Lori found Dan when he was leaving. Yeah, he had no reason to come back.
Yeah, I agree, dude. On the same page.
Maybe it was that good sex.
He just missed women. That's it.
Maybe he got a little lonely, bad. Just missed his friends.
Lonely out there on Mars.
Yeah. I mean, he was pretty into sex, even in the comics. Even while he's doing fucking advanced physics, he's banging. He's banging Lori.
Yeah. So, dude, that's the best theory we can come up with right now. He just needed to smash, man. Fuck.
That's the only thing that doesn't seem true to the comics. Why the fuck would he come back? That's the one thing that seemed like so final at the end of the comic.
So there's some Petey Pedia this week.
There's some pedophilia this week.
So what the fuck? They answered why families moved to Vietnam too, and specifically black families, and it was to escape racism in America and just have a new opportunity out there. So that's probably why her family also moved there after, or stayed there.
There would be a lot of new opportunity in a new state too, though.
Mm-hmm. It'd have its own economy. It'd be so separated from everything.
Yeah. It seemed like it was all Americanized too. So, I mean, that would take a lot of people, a lot of work to get the infrastructure.
And that probably is a decent amount of time after it became a state. And there was some other stuff too that came out of this piece. So the Black Superman in their universe was a spoof of Dr. Manhattan. That was something that's in real life. It's called Abar the Black Superman. I think we've talked about that in a previous pod. In this universe, Batman is black and he's a spoof of Night Owl. He's the same same genre as Sister Night and all that.
What the fuck? That's sick.
Yeah.
I'm down on it.
Sister Night, the nun with the motherfucking gun.
Yes.
That shit cracks me up. Is that real?
It sounds
Dude,
like
I don't know. Sister Night might be. No, I don't know.
It sounds like some Black Dynamite type of stuff.
I don't know if Sister Night is real, dude. There's definitely shit like that. The A-Bar one was real.
When I saw None with a motherfucking gun, dude, I was busting up laughing.
That VHS rack had a couple elephant references on there too. Let's see what else. Oh, Dan Dryberg will not appear in the show. Confirmed. Damon Lindelof. And he confirmed the Excalibur thing. Just the whole play on all of it. The words.
It was meant to be connected.
It was meant to be, yeah. Yeah, this was another thing too. Mr. Reeves. So after Captain Metropolis died and left him all his money, he showed the movie Sister Night every Sunday at midnight since 2007, which is the same year A-Bar became a detective. That's pretty much it. There was just one other thing too where they wrote out, Luke, did you see this? They wrote out a whole song.
No, I didn't.
In the PD file.
I didn't read the PD files, dude.
Oh, for some reason, PD wrote out like an entire song. And in it was just talking about a brick, and it's all in reference to Angela. So I was thinking the whole little girl from Laurie's joke could be a brick too, because in her story, she was talking about how she split God's head open, which is what she did at the end of this episode.
Oh, damn. That makes sense. So the little girl is Angela?
In the story, yeah.
I guess that aspect makes sense. I would need to go back and check everything, see if it lines up.
Line her up, Ross.
Check the deets. Check the specs.
Trunky and Tusky. Trunky and Tusky were the elephants' names. I wrote that down. Any predictions? How's this shit ending, man? Everyone dying?
I was thinking about it before the pod, and I just couldn't really think of anything.
If they parallel the comic, something bad is going to happen.
I don't know. The show does a pretty good job of keeping things hidden.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying it's going to end bad is what I mean.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying what is going to make it end badly?
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know.
It could be a few things at this point.
Yeah.
There's 3 factors.
Dr. Manhattan, Ozymandias, Lady True.
7 Cavalry.
So 4 factors.
So question was from Cabillo.
Yeah.
What role, if any, will Topher play in the final 2 episodes? He was building Ozzy's castle with his magnets earlier this season. And that was Cal and Angela's kid. And originally, remember, we were thinking that could have been what would make him Dr. Manhattan. Maybe he was hiding in a kid somehow. But I think we were on the right track, clearly, because there's Cal. Maybe that was somehow affected by Cal, that technology. Or it's just a common technology there that everyone can make magnetic castles like that. But it could just be something that Angela and Cal are able to give him because Cal had that ability.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just another reference of Dr. Manhattan being close to their family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I think that's all I got. Shoot, we got like shout outs and shout out Cheesy Dude 813.
Wait. What'd you laugh at?
You want me to read it?
Just read it, dude.
You can tell these guys can lay some pipe.
Oh, what the fuck? That was his whole review?
What?
That was the first thing I read.
Oh my, nice.
Shout out Wyatt B _.
Yes. Shout out Wyatt B.
And Senior Slug.
Yes.
Shout out Walker, Texas Ranger.
The fucking username.
Why? You got this. Come on.
The usernames on these guys.
All right, dude. Leave your Twitter handle, everyone. That's way easier. I just have to read Walker, Texas. And Clout. And Clute. C Clute 119. Thanks, guys. And our Patreon subscribers. Dude, we got a few of those this week.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, what's going to be our Patreon content for this week? Watch Irishman.
We're going to discuss The Irishman. Let's do it.
The Irishman.
Yo, forgot one thing though. You guys think next week we're going to get the biggest reveal of the season? We're going to find out who Lube Man is?
Lube Man.
What if they just never explain who that fool was?
Just never talk about him. No, they have to explain it. I really feel like it's Petey.
Yeah, that seems like that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's wrap this up. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at NotAMoviePod, at Culture Crave. Check out our Patreon, which is patreon.com/NotAnotherMoviePod. We're going to review The Irishman. That's our next one. We're dropping that this week.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Did I say, follow us on Twitter at Culture Crave. Follow your boys at Zach_Williamson, at Ross Cutsforth, at Luke _Goosens.
No underscore is clean though.
Hey, shout out to Julian also. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Julian, our producer, jpopmusic.com. I think that's it, boys.
Yeah, we out of here.
Peace.
All right, we good. We good, boys. I'm pausing it.
We good, Billy. Yay, we did it.